this is the help video for Word Chapter 4, the Guided Project 4.2. I'm in SimNet, and I'm going to select the tile for Project 4.2. And I'm now at the screen. I can see that I have a start file and resources. So I'm going to download the start file. I'm in Chrome, so it comes down here. I'm going to download the resources, and I make note of the fact that that resource file is zipped. I'm also going to download the solution file. So we need to go back to that zipped file. We cannot use the contents of a compressed folder. We need to uncompress it. So to do that, I'm going to double click on the file name, and I'm going to get this pink extract all. I'm going to extract all. I'm going to make note of where it's being saved. In my case, it's in downloads. You can make it in any folder that you want. I'm going to say extract. Now, if I look at my downloads folder, so I'm going to come here to downloads. I have my start file. I have this zipped file. But if you look down here, I have it without a zipper. So that's the one you want to always look for once you extract it. And then I have the solution. Okay? So just pay attention to whether or not there's a zipper attached. So I'm using a Windows machine, so I'm going to make sure my instructions are set to Windows. And I'm going to look for my maximum heart rate, which is the start file. So you'll find the file with your name, which I have already opened. And I'm just going to set this up so they're side by side, so we can look at the instructions as well as the file. So I have this, and I need to enable. Always those two steps. So I am done with that. Now I'm on to the second one. The file will be renamed, which it does. We're going to just always skip that and leave it alone. All right, insert word art as the title of the document and modify American River Cycling to including the paragraph marks. So select the title. I'm going to come out left. I have it selected. I'm going to put my codes on. Notice that the paragraph mark is included. Click the word art button. So that's insert. And then find the text group, and then the word art button. So that's the slanty A. And we want to look at the gallery. Third option, first row. If we can confirm it's the same, I'm going to click on that. So I have those two things done. So it modifies that line to take on the word art style that we picked. Change the shape width. So now we need to find the shape format, and then in the shape format over here on the size, I still have this selected. We're going to make the width 6.5. So it's spreading it across. Click the position button. So that's in this arrange tab, position. We're going to do more layouts. And remember, this is where we kind of put the object in a certain spot. So we did the more layouts. In the horizontal area, we want to change the change alignment to centered relative to margin. So in the past, we did that absolute position. Remember, like where we took a piece of glue and we just stuck it? But here, we're putting this relative to some other object. So instead of, okay, so we want to change the alignment in the horizontal area to center relative to margin. So we're going to pick alignment, centered, relative to margin. Then we need to do an absolute position for vertical, and we want that to be 0.2 below the page. So this one we are putting it against something, relative to something, and this one we're putting it, like gluing it to a certain spot. We're going to go ahead and say okay. Before I do okay, I'm going to move this and watch this, right? So it jumped up, right, and it centered it. All right, so while we still have this selected, we're going to do the text effect button. So that is in the Word, right here, Word Style group. We're going to select right here the text effect. So if I put my cursor here, it should say text effect. We're going to do that. Reflection, and then the very first option, which is tight reflection touching. And you'll see right here, it's like reflecting down underneath. So that looks kind of cool as the header. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, step number 4, convert text to a table. And we've done that before. So what we want to look at here is you can see that this is already laid out really nicely. Remember, I have my reveal codes on. So remember, these arrows indicate when somebody was typing this in, between here and here they hit the tab key. So we can take that tab stop, that tab that was used, and change it to a column. So this will become a column, 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 and then the enter key designates a row. So it's all laid out for us. It'll just be very simple to do. So we're going to select all of that text, and then we're going to in the insert, we want to do the table button, and we're going to say convert text to table. So we're going to do number of columns is good. We want to auto fit contents, and we're going to use a tab, right? So that's all good. Okay, now we have our table. Doesn't look the best, right? Like this header's really large and the data inside is not. So if we look at the end here, this is what we're going for. Much nicer look. So this is wrapped. The data underneath of it is centered within it. So those are the changes that we want to make. Okay, so while we're in our table, we're going to do Table Tools Design tab. We're there. We're going to click, make sure over here that header row, banded row, and that's it. So I had to unselect first column because check the header row and banded row and deselect other ones. So we would just want header and banded. I had first column. I unchecked that. All right. In the Table Styles group, we're going to use the More button. And we want to find under Grid, Table 4, Accent 2. So that's this reddish one. Place the insertion point within the cell. So I clicked actually in it. Do you see how there's the insertion point right before the Z? We're going to do a backspace to get rid of it because we want to hit enter to make that the word zone go to the next line. Same thing here. We're going to go to the H, backspace, enter. Tightened up those columns. It looks a lot nicer. Okay, I am going to stop this movie here. We're going to pick up the step number 5 in the next movie. Thank you.